joy in your life when you have these little beings to enter into your existence. And although you may not be their biological parents, you still feel your maternal or your paternal instincts just kick in when you're around them. And such a beautiful experience. For me, it's my nieces and nephews, all of them, however they may have come into my life. I have, let's see, one, two, three, four nephews. I have one grand nephew. I have two nieces that are living, and then I have a grandniece. I have two nieces that are in heaven, and I'm about to talk about everybody. My very first nephew, I was in my very early 20s when he came into my life. My sister was dating someone and he had a son. And whenever this nephew of mine, whenever we get together, oh my goodness, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. It really is. He's a bonus, but he is a major bonus. And we are still close to this day. And he grew up and he's become a very fine young man. Very fine young man. I love how he has progressed through life. I love how he processes through life. Process management is very big for me, and that's something that I use in my business as I support victims and survivors of abuse. And the way he does it is just so masterful. I love watching him grow. Even though he is near 40, I think. I still love watching him grow. I really do. I really love watching him grow. It's a beautiful process to see. And we're real close. Whenever we're around each other, we do these random trips where we get lost on purpose. and and then we just have a ball just teasing each other about one another's responses to things, as they really happen in real life, in real time is what I'm trying to say. It is awesome. I remember taking him to the mountains one day, to this mountain that's pretty popular in where I live now. And being that he's from Florida, he had never experienced deer and being around bears. So we're just casually walking, and I'm used to deer. And there was a deer that was eating berries from a tree. And the deer was watching me, and I was watching it, but I just kept moving, you know. And he's like, Auntie, Auntie. I'm like, yes. He said, what is that? What is that? And this is right before he went to boot camp. And so, yeah, he's an adult by then. He's in his late 20s, early 30s, something like that. But anyway, he had never seen a deer before. And if he did, he was too young to remember. And I said, that's a deer. He said, and you're just walking by it? I'm like, yes, it's not going to bother me. And so, yeah, so I had to guide him to the other side. So, because he wasn't used to it. That was funny. But then there was this baby black bear that came. He said, oh, that's so cute. He said, what is it? I said, that's a bear. He said, a what? I said, yeah, that's a bear. He had seen pictures of bears and stuff like that. But it was so far off. And I'm farsighted. I can really, really see like way off. He knew there was something black. And I said, that's a baby bear. I said, but the reason why I'm not staying out with these people is because if a baby is around, mama is too. And I'm not about to play with that. He said, uh-oh. He said, wherever you go, I'm going. So yeah, that was our experience. But on the way home, we got lost. We got really lost. And what was so funny about that was because we were talking, just having a good time talking, as we normally do. And all of a sudden, I realized, wait, this is unfamiliar. And he's like, Auntie, what's wrong? I was like, I don't know where I am. He was like, what? He said, did we do it again? I said, yes. And this wasn't planned because we were actually on our way home. And I said, I don't remember this tunnel. I said, I've never been on this thing where there's a tunnel. He's like, oh God. So we just kept traveling, and it looked like we were just continuing to go up and up and up because the other mountains around the mountain that we was on were starting to go down. I was like, what in the world is happening? So I said, once I find a little spot where we could turn around and go back, that's what we're gonna do. So we to the right about another mile, I saw where there was a ranger station, and I said, I feel comfortable turning around in this little area right here. So somebody came outside and they waved, and I pointed, I'm going back that way, and they just gave a thumbs up. And so yeah, we turned around, but it took where it would have taken us for about 40 minutes to get home from where we originally were. It took about 2.5 hours because we were talking that much. Just to give you an idea about our relationship. The next one in my life is my oldest niece, which I told you about yesterday. So if you go to where the video is in one of those two areas, you'll see my happy birthday ode to her. She's the one, she's a cosmetologist. She has her own business. She's a makeup artist and a cosmetologist. She's married, and she's the one who's given me my grand nephew. I am so proud of him. I really, really am. I'll talk about him a little later. But I am very proud of her. I am proud of her husband, and I'm just proud of all of them. The next one would be my sister after me, her youngest daughter. This one, I'm proud of her too. I remember when she was a little girl, she had a business mind, and she still has a business mind to this day. She just haven't really settled on what it is she wants to start up in business. She is now a manager assistant manager where she works. She's given me my great niece, which I'll talk about later. But when this particular niece, I remember seeing her business skills when she was somewhere between the 5th and the 6th grade. She would be bored, and she would grab her mother's computer, and she would create PowerPoint slides about her day. And that's what she would do. She would just create them. And the way she created them, even with the animations and the way she presented them to me when I would come and visit them for a while, she actually presented them as a professional presenter at that age. And I told my sister, I said, you better watch out for that one. I said, you're going to have two on your hand who own their own businesses. I said, I don't know what your son is going to do yet. I said, but these two girls, they have business heads, just like, the rest of the family. And so we watched out, and whatever they would ask for, that would cultivate that as they got older. We did our best to get those things for them. But yeah, she's doing pretty good. And then there's the second nephew. We call him Boogie Woogie, and he is now 21. I cannot believe all my babies are grown. Oh my goodness. He is really doing well, even beyond what was said that he would do. He was not expected from outside our family, of course. He was not expected to comprehend anything. He was not expected to be able to read and write as well as he does. He wasn't expected to even hold a job or anything like that. Today, because backstory, he was labeled with all the acronyms that you can give children: ODD, ADD, ADHD, everything, including autism and borderline mental retardation, which is what they call now intellectual disability. He has all of that. They labeled him all of these things. He now is 21. He's in a great stable relationship. He is on a job that he loves. He keeps up with his money. Very mannerable, always willing to help people. I am equally proud of him too. What I can appreciate about him most is his fight. His fight to show that, hey, I know you said this is who I am, but I am working hard to be who my family tells me who I am and who I believe I am. When he was in high school, he did even better than what he thought, because he had been in classes where there's a lot of behavioral issues and stuff like that. And he still has some of these issues, but he has learned how to manage them. And he's learned healthy coping skills, how to manage them. And so when it was time for his review again for his IEP, they could not believe how his grades just really soared. He didn't just kick it up a notch. He really just, it was like they were looking at a star student. And in my eyes, yes, he's a star student. Always have been. It's just that he needed the right people in his life to guide him there. And he worked hard. He did even more than what we expected him to do to get there. And he's even surprised himself when all of the testing and all of the reviews came through. He could not believe that he did that himself. And I asked him how he felt, and he said, I don't know, I'm still in shock. I said, well, you just proved to yourself that you can do anything that anybody else can do. Even better, because of all that you had to come through, that you had to deal with while you were trying to get there. So he thought about that. He said, yeah, you know what? You're right. So he's still in the process trying to figure out what it is exactly he wants to do. He's on the right track. And I'm proud of him. I'm proud of him for the fight that he put up as young as he was. I really am. Because that's going to help him as he continues on with life. And so whenever he figures out, he has a business head too. He just wants to own a business. I come from a large family of business owners, so it's kind of a thing. And I'm proud that he has this mind to do it. And so every so often we have conversations of getting him to think about how he's going to map all of this out. I'm just so proud of my babies. I am. You have no idea. Now, those are children from my sister that's after me. Then there's the sister after her. My first baby sister, I call her my baby girl number 1. So that's number 1. Baby girl number 2, she gave us a niece. And this is the one who did not survive long. She left us when she was 6 months. But this little being gave us so much joy the entire 6 months that she was with us. She picked on me a lot. When I say she picked on me a lot, I'm not playing. She picked on me a lot. She was always grabbing my food and snatching it from me. And then I'm going to say, give that back. She just give me attitude. It just, I mean, everybody loved it. They loved when she did me like that. And but then she would hate when it was time for me to leave. She would want to cry and she would want me to hold her. And of course, that made it hard for me to just leave when I needed to get to work or go to a class or something. It did. She pulled at my heartstrings hard. So when she left us and went to heaven, it was hard on everybody. It was really hard on everybody, but she brought so much joy to all of us. And I feel honored and I feel so privileged that we were chosen to have her when we did. Now that was from baby girl number 2, my other baby sister. Now my baby girl number 3, because remember I told you it's 4 of us girls. So my baby girl number 3, her oldest is a son. So my nephew, we call him Chef Lefty. He is, oh no, his birthday just escaped me. I think I missed his birthday. His birthday was this week too. Oh my goodness, he is 16 on me already, y'all. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to call him y'all. Y'all, excuse me. I just had a moment. But anyway, her two boys. Oh my goodness. I love how they think. I love how they process life. It's just my sisters, my siblings, their children are amazing. They really are. Um, he goes to culinary school even at 16. He's been going, I think, for a couple of years now. I think he started when he was I think he started when he was 13. He went started going to culinary school, taking culinary classes. That's always been his thing. That's a thing in our family too. My dad was a professional chef, and his dad was a professional chef. So yeah, cooking, yeah, yeah, and he does it so well. Um, I'm hoping with all the skills that he has, I'm wondering if he's thinking of starting a business with that. I don't know. I have to talk to him and find out. He has a little brother who actually has his own business. He's a DJ. He's a professional DJ. DJ, and he is I think he's about 12, 11 or 12, something like that. Yeah, he's a professional DJ. He shows up to events and people pay him, and yeah, I'm so proud of all my babies. I know I keep saying it, but I am proud. I am one proud big auntie. You have no idea. Now, this one is also my namesake. My namesake and my dad's, because I was named after my dad, and this one was named after me. He's also a twin. And my oldest niece, that's a makeup artist and a cosmetologist, she's also a twin. Now, both of them, their twins did not live. So they are still here, but their twins are in heaven. But yeah, I am just proud of all of them. Now, there's another generation. I have a grandnephew and a grandniece. My oldest niece blessed me with a grandnephew. He is 9 or 10, very athletic, always thinking. He's a progressive thinker. So I don't know what to expect out of him. When we converse, it's always enjoyable. It's really like talking to a little old man. It really is. I enjoy my time with him. We're always engaging in conversation where he's thinking through something, and it just takes one little thing and it starts his wheels turning in his head, and he was like, "Big auntie, such and such and such," and just any subject. And he just wants to know, and we just sit there and we just dialogue, and I love that. I do. That makes me feel great just to sit down and just talk with them. It doesn't have to be anything big to me. Conversation is really big. So for them to want to be around me to converse and just talk and just chill, I love it. I do. I love it. Now the last one, little Miss Thing. She is the youngest, my grandniece, 3 years old. She thinks she could tell me what to do. But I love how when it comes to discipline, how she receives how I support her when she needs to correct a behavior. She does what a 2 and 3 year old does, have her little fit, and I'll tell her, okay, that wasn't something you needed to do or say. And I said, and when you're ready to talk to Big Auntie, come let me know and we can talk about it. And so I let her have her fit, and then she'll come stand by me and she'll have her head down. I'm like, always have your head up. Never be ashamed for what you did. You may not be proud of it, but you don't have to feel shame for it. I said, because shame is hard to come from. And she may not understand that, but I'm going to tell her that anyway, because I need that to be in her spirit, because that's something I'm going to continue telling her. And she'll sit on my lap and we talk about the choices that she made. And then I'll ask her, was that the right thing or the wrong thing to do? And she'll say that was bad or that was good. And if it was bad, which she calls it, when I call it the wrong choice, as she aged, I would train her to say not the right choice instead of bad choice. Um, and so I'll ask her, what could you have done? And so right now, at 3 years old, she can't figure that out. So I give her options of what she could have done. And she'll go choose one of those things. Now, if she needs to go apologize to somebody, she does that. And I say, are you ready to go apologize to whoever for doing whatever? And she said, yes, ma'am. So she'll go and she'll do it. And I have to guide her with that because just saying I'm sorry is not enough. You need to say what you're sorry for. And then I'll wait and allow that person to process your apology. And you have the right to ask them, do you accept my apology? Now that's on that person if they accept it or not. And I told her, once you do that, it whether they accept it or not, it's not on you. Be okay that you did the right thing. Fixing the problem first and then asking that person to forgive you. I said that in itself is good on your part. That's all your responsibility to it is. So I love my nieces and nephews. I do. I do. I love them as if they're my very own. I cherish every moment that I have with them, which isn't a lot, but when we are together, we have it's like we never stop. It's like we just pick right up where we left off and we just keep it going. And I love that. I do. I love that a lot. They also video chat me. Sometimes they text me. They'll just say, I just wanted to text you, I love you. And oh my gosh, of course, that melts me. So I have somewhere I need to go. So I'll talk to y'all later.